supplementary tools in level 3 are really, really important for your students because these students love to see what you're going to pull out next. When you use some kind of supplementary tool or visual, it just engages them and makes them so excited. I use probably 5, 6 or more supplementary tools every lesson that I teach. And I kind of use 2 different types of supplementary tools. I use the tools that have to do with the lesson content, which, might be, showing them the bus, how do you go to school, and then using that tool that's, that visual that's right there for them. And so I try to use a lot of those. I use a lot of gimmicks like, what do you see? Or for the different 5 senses unit that we teach in level 3, I love to pull these out. What do you hear? Things like that. Just those fun, simple things keep them engaged. I also love to use this when I find myself saying something a lot to a student. For example, one of my students, I'm constantly reminding him to use a sentence. And I found myself saying 4 or 5 times in a lesson, use a sentence, use a sentence. And I'm like, how can I eliminate this talk? So I'll simply use a supplementary tool and point to it, and he says a sentence. Same thing with that S. Our students drop that S all of the time. I hold up my big orange S and point to it, and they go back and they find the S that they left off. So as often as possible, I bring in those supplementary tools to support the content, especially in Unit 5 of Level 3, where we're teaching those animal groups, and there's so much content, there's so much vocabulary. I show them as many visuals as I can because it really supports them, helps that language to have something associated with it that is just such a good memory trigger. It just makes a difference in their learning and just in their excitement about your class.
All right, so Frank, what you do is you say the number and then spell the number.
1 1 O N E 2 U E W O 3 3 T H R E E 4 4 F O U R 5 5 F I V E 6 6 S I X 7 7 S E V E N 8 8 A E G H T 9 9 N I N E 10 10 T E N.
Good job. Wonderful job, Frank.
So sometimes in the lesson, they might have to choose which verb tense is correct. And so this is an example. They have to choose if it's come or comes. And so in this one, the activity is just to read the pronoun and fill in the blank. And I will use my supplementary tools to kind of guide them through that one. I'll say, so is it come or comes? And they have to choose, and then, okay, great job. And then I will use my pronoun tool. So I've got my so she, and I'll use this one and same thing. She, and they can fill in the blank with comes. And so with a lot of the verb conjugations, I think it's helpful to have something for pronouns, he, she, it, or to have a chart that you can hold up, same thing, so you can conjugate it. And then if they're just trying to decide between 2 things, flashcards are really helpful. Another tool that I think is helpful for these classes is the whiteboard, because you can do so much with it. So on this one, I might write out the entire target sentence. And that way, throughout the beginning of the lesson, when we're doing it together, I can hold up the target sentence for them and they can fill in the blanks. There's one about baby animals. So that target sentence might be written on this whiteboard, and then I will just have them fill in the blanks. And then as they get more comfortable with it, then I don't rely on the whiteboard anymore, and I can just ask them the question.
So, Jenny, most fish have the same body parts. Yeah, tail, fin. What do they do? Can you read this? Very good. Help the fish swim. Okay. Gills.
Cat
Gills.
face.
No. Don't eat him. Okay. Gills help the fish breathe. Gills